Hi everyone, another Queen today. This is number 37 in the Queen 50 series, and today's title is One Vision. One Vision. A Kind of Magic. Queen's 12th studio album was released on the 2nd of June 1986 by EMI Records in the UK and by Capitol Records in the US, and it is based on the soundtrack to the film Highlander. The entire album? That's interesting. Well, I haven't seen that film, so I don't know exactly how it's linked, but that's kind of interesting. Maybe I should watch the film and then listen to the entire album and see what the connection is sometime. A Kind of Magic was Queen's first album to be released since they had received acclaim for their performance at Live Aid in 1985. It was an immediate hit in the UK, going straight to number one and selling 100,000 copies in its first week. Wow. It remained in the UK charts for 63 weeks, selling 600,000 in the UK alone. The album spawned 4 hit singles. The album's title track, A Kind of Magic, One Vision, Friends Will Be Friends, and Who Wants to Live Forever, which features an orchestra conducted by Michael Kamen. One Vision was written by Roger Taylor. Roger Taylor's the drummer, right? The song was inspired by the life and exploits of Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, okay, that makes sense of the title. With the lyrics recounting a man battling and overcoming the odds. In the 2011 BBC documentary Queen, Days of Our Lives, Taylor stated his lyrics were sort of half nicked off Martin Luther King's famous speech. Just a little side note, if you hear rumbling in the background, it's because we live in Middle Tennessee and it's springtime and there are thunderstorms happening outside right now. The final line of the song, in the studio, live, and blurred vision versions, in the album extended versions, the line before the final "God works in mysterious ways," is fried chicken. Although the lyrics say one vision. This was the result of trying to come up with the proper wording of the song, and since it was not working, Freddie Mercury at some point introduced words that had nothing to do with the song for fun. Some other made-up words during rehearsals were one shrimp, one prawn, one clam, one chicken, and some profanity. Well, it sounds a bit like some of the word games the Beatles have played in an earlier era. Kind of fun. Well, let's see how it sounds. Wow, that was different. And it's a good thing I have the lyrics beside me because I wouldn't have understood what was being growled out down there. This is almost one of those dark metal growling voices in here, isn't it? I guess I've listened to a couple of the metal songs. Was it doom metal or death metal or something where the voice was just like this primal creature coming out of his den, and I was like, what induces somebody to make their voice sound like that? And then here, it's in this song. This is Queen. That's interesting. Now I'm really curious. And obviously I can't answer this question right now, but maybe you would like to chime in. At what point in the development of rock, metal, whatever you want to call it, did this type of voice first become evident? Because it feels like it's a bit early for those doom metal, death metal styles. I don't think you would say that that existed back when this was recorded. But the voice is already there. That's interesting. Well, the other thing that kind of makes me chuckle is this first line. God works in mysterious ways, mysterious ways. Since when is he quoting William? Well, it's not quite a William Cooper quote, right? But obviously British. Because William Cooper was a well-known hymn writer way back when. And if you were a church-going, not so much Anglican, but somewhat, you even find those hymns there. But, I mean, where did he come up with this? Of course, it has become a colloquial expression, because the actual line, and in case you don't know, if you haven't figured out by now, I have a lot of appreciation for William Cooper's poetry. The actual line to that hymn, which is quoted here, is God moves in a mysterious way. So this is more of the colloquial God works in mysterious ways that became kind of embedded in the cultural expressions explaining. But it's so funny to hear it in this voice and in this context, and oh, it puts a different slant on it, right? And then, in all of that swirling stuff comes dum bum da dum bum da dum bum da dum bum. Very kind of English orchestral rhythm quality. Funny thing, this morning I was just listening to Catherine Finch and John Rutter's CD entitled Blessing, which is, Catherine Finch is a harpist. She was the royal harpist for some years. And she composed a concerto called Celtic Concerto. It's fun, it's wild, it has a very interesting mix of styles. But this little figure, you almost do the same thing in that Celtic Concerto. Funny that I was listening to it just this morning. God works in mysterious ways. Let's not go too far. And then the guitar. Kind of putting on the brakes and saying, okay, enough with all this wild, swirling mix of colors and stuff now. Let's pull it back in. Let's grab hold of the reins and kind of take control of things a little bit here. Don't let it get too mysteriously working. Grab the reins. Hold on. Let's gather it in.
Hey! One man, one goal. One mission, one heart, one soul. Just one solution, one flash of light. Yeah, one God, one vision, one flesh, one bone, one true religion, one voice, one hope, one real decision. Whoa, 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 give me one vision.
Okay. I'm going to have to stop several times along the way this first listen because there's so much just going through my mind right now. So, all this wild swirling let's say that it's the sonic illustration of the mysterious part of the universe that we don't understand and don't have a handle on, right? As summed up in God works in mysterious ways, however you wish to interpret that. It's the things that happen out of our control and we can't really put our finger on it. And then the guitar kind of, as I said, grabs hold of the reins and says, let's get it under control here. And out of that comes one man, one goal, one mission, and really focuses it towards one. Whether or not I actually like listening to the music for the sake of the music, I think that is a very compelling artistic musical illustration expression of these ideas that are presented in the opening. And then the other thing that caught my ear was when it comes to one vision. That's the moment at which the chorus of voices sings rather than a single voice. One vision, as if somehow that is kind of a because it's a chorus. I don't want to say that it's a vision of a group of people. That's taking it too far. But the fact that it comes with a different set of voices, one vision, sets it apart from the rest, doesn't it? And makes us kind of think about, okay, what is being expressed by this one vision? We've had one voice singing, one man, one goal, one mission, one heart, one soul, just one solution, one flash of light, one God, and then one vision.
Mission, one heart,
One voice.
one soul, just one solution, one flash of light. Yeah, one God, one vision.
One vision. Like the way it's thrown in there is so it intensifies the whole, it colors the whole idea of one. We've heard one single voice singing all of these ones until we get to one vision. It makes it a bit like it's describing a vision, something beyond the present. This one man, one goal, one mission, one heart, one soul, one solution, one flash of light, one God. Those are all things that we can kind of pull around ourselves and make happen in the present. And then when the chorus comes, one vision, that's as if we're looking towards the future a bit more. It's outside of our grasp, but we see it out there. Somehow that's the way I perceive it with these voices.
Flash of light. Yeah, one God, one vision, one flesh, one bone, one true religion, one voice, one hope, one real decision.
You know what this reminded me of? Was the chant-like pieces that I've listened to, especially We Will Rock You, where there's a rhythm that can get a whole crowd singing along. And this is kind of like that, isn't it?
Vision, one flesh, one bone, one true religion.
Almost like a crowd
One
chant.
hope, one real decision. Whoa, whoa.
And so this whole, we've hardly gone through, I don't know, a quarter of this, a third of this, but it's set up so well. First, the complete, undefinable, swirling, unknown happenings outside of our grasp, pulling it into one person, and then from there we have the vision, and then we have the crowd chant, which kind of brings everybody along on this vision. It's a really great design, structure, sequencing in the music to bring it to this point. Now, I have no clue what's coming next, but whether or not, as I said, whether or not I like listening to this just for entertainment's sake, structurally, design-wise, architecturally, it works incredibly well.
One voice, one hope, one real decision. Whoa, 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 whoa. Give me one vision. Yeah. No wrong, no right. I'm gonna tell you there's no black and no white. No blood, no stain. All we need is one worldwide vision. One flesh, one bone.
In that moment again, one worldwide vision, as if the chorus is representing the whole world. Isn't it great the way, I could almost say this if I weren't paying attention to the lyrics, if it were just off in the background, I might even dismiss this piece and say, that sounds a little bit commercial, doesn't it? It almost does. But when we pay attention to it, we realize that regardless of the sound mix, whether you like it or not, and I am still getting adjusted to this new Queen sound mix and voice and everything. Even the growl at the beginning was a real surprise for me. So I can't say that I'm in love with this part of Queen's musical output in terms of musical enjoyment. What would I like to listen to? I can't say that. But I am impressed with how masterfully they handle it, regardless of the style that they're working in. Just as they were so good handling the gospel or the more theatrical style, or all the different things that we've been through along the real sentimental, tug at your heartstrings songs. All of these there have been very few that I would say were second rate. I don't know if there's one that stands out to me even that I could point my finger and say they didn't do a good job. Of course, there are some which are far above others, but their quality of craftsmanship and artistry is incredibly consistent throughout the whole work that they've done to this point. And even now.
Worldwide vision. One flesh, one bone, one true religion. One race, one hope, one real decision. Whoa, 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 yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I had a dream when I was young, a dream of sweet illusion, a glimpse of hope and unity, and visions of one sweet union.
And of course, because it's Queen, they can switch from one to another seamlessly. It happened just like that. And suddenly, we're in this dream world, aren't we? And Freddie's voice has changed, and the instruments, again, suddenly it's back to those strings. Ding, 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 ding. And more of almost the swirling sound from the beginning, like we're dreaming of this paradise, this perfect world. It's the music that's doing that for us.
I had a dream when I was young.
The reverb here, the way
Dream of
it's
sweet illusion, a
the
glimpse
guitar.
of hope and unity, and visions of one sweet union.
I like that drone note.
And a dumpling fall. And in my heart it shows. Look what they've done to my dream.
Yeah, sorry. Whose voice was this? It was so different
Oh, sweet union. And a dark rainfall.
I guess it's spring.
Shows. Look what they've done to my dream.
Oh boy.
One vision. Give me your hands, give me your heart. I'm ready. There's
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride or something with all sorts of, you know, those colorful flashing lights and flipping and rotating and it's a bit crazy, isn't it? We're standing on our head or something.
one vision. Give me your hands, give me your heart. I'm ready. There's only one direction, one world, and one nation. Yeah, one vision. No hate, no fight, just excitation all through the night. It's a sad.
That's a real pulsing bass there. Boom, 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 boom. And the drums are so prominent here. This is almost taking me back to what was the one I said the drums were in the front of the pack.
I want to break free.
That's it. Right. So in that one, remember the drums were just so in your face, like right in the center of your face. And this here, it's tending that direction, isn't it? Still there's more bass and more guitar activity. And the voice is more electrifying, engaging. So it breaks the focus into different places a bit more.
Yeah, one vision. No hate, no fight, just excitation all through the night. It's a celebration. Whoa, 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 yeah.
But the bass here.
One flesh, one bone, one true religion. One voice, one hope, one real decision. Give me one life, yeah. Give me one hope, hey. Just give me life. One life, one life, yeah. Just give me fried chicken.
I know what this reminds me of. I know. It reminds me of those arcade game centers, you know, with the flashing lights and I always hated those things. I know if you're playing a game there, it's kind of fun if you're into that sort of thing, but I thought they were just garish and ridiculous and why all the flashing lights and noises and everything? It's not for me. This makes me feel like I'm in some sort of I don't know, recreation center game room that has several of those around and different people playing different games in different corners and I'm in the background just trying to listen to some music, but those lights and those noises just keep interfering with me. And this idea of playing an arcade game, it makes sense of the fried chicken too, doesn't it? I mean, this is a game. This is one goal. We're trying to achieve something within the game, but and it sounds so serious. And what does it start with? Right? God works in mysterious ways. All the swirling stuff. And we take it seriously because we want to win. We want to go to the next level up. But at the end, give me fried chicken. It's a game. It's a game. That's it. But isn't it interesting the way Queen can take such a topic as Martin Luther King and his vision and his mission and turn it into something that sounds like this and gives me this impression of it being a game, and then we think, all right, so is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I don't know if it even makes sense to try to judge that, but it's so fascinating the way music and setting ideas to music can completely change the what we take away from it. This is one of those for me. And okay, I understand it was really popular. I haven't listened to their entire Live Aid performance because I haven't done my first listen to some of those pieces yet. But I did see a couple clips of it. And I'm curious because what I heard in that live performance, of course, was not so synthesized and studio produced, manipulated. It had more of the classic Queen sound because it was live. This being their first album out after that performance, I wonder what all of those people, did they all know of Queen before then? I'm not sure. Were they all Queen fans before then? Clearly it was a big hit, and it's just interesting to think about what attracted people to Queen, and then when they bought this album, were they pleased with it? I don't know. Obviously it sold a lot, but interesting ideas, and maybe some of them I should pursue. There we have one vision. Is it a game? Is it serious business? Or is it a bit of each? Whatever it is, it's Queen. I'll see you soon.